And especially if people don't have TikTok yet, I hope you made it a convincing sell that they really need to get it because of the reach, because especially when you were talking about PR before, like imagine what the PR and what the church is going through with the amount of reach that ex-Mormons have on TikTok right now, like videos in the millions, probably every day on a different ex-Mormon TikTok channel, you know, like that type of reach is not even typical of like a standard YouTube video. So more and more people are realizing the church is a fraud of all different backgrounds, all leaving for all different reasons. And like, I really feel like the new best meeting place for them to talk about it is on TikTok.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start, instead of starting with your story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about TikTok a little bit. No. Let's talk about TikTok a little bit. Let's talk about why TikTok is interesting, why it's different.
Yeah.
In addition to its reach. And then describe your channel a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll splice in a video or two in post-production. But describe why TikTok is cool, why Ex-Mormon TikTok is cool, and then what's different or interesting about your channel, and then we'll dig into your story.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. So TikTok is, people say it's 1 minute videos. It's actually 59-second videos. But 1 minute videos on their platform, on their app. And you can do all kinds of different, you could just talk into the camera and tell stories if you wanted to. I do a lot more sketch comedy type, where I write more scripts. And I do a little bit of everything on my channel, pretty much whatever I feel like doing that day that doesn't sound unfun.
Give a couple examples of what a video of yours might be like.
So my favorite type is, honestly, I have only maybe 4 videos where I talk directly into the camera really passionately. And it's a series about videos called Things I Wish I Could Tell My Mormon Best Friends, but I can't.
Things like what?
Things like, I wish when you say that you know the church is true, and because of the Holy Spirit, I wish that you realized that that has been trademarked and shipped into your brain. And the way that you're interpreting these spiritual feelings are placed in there by these men in a council in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it's not as organic of a process. You're a lot more indoctrinated than you realize, but I say it in a way that I wish I could just tell my friends. So those are a handful of videos, or I just do sketches making fun of Kwaku or, Fair Mormon or
apologists. Yeah.
Apologists. I have a lot of videos where I go back and forth with like my old way of thinking and the way I think now, and I can really
kind
put
of like a monologue with yourself, right?
Yeah, or like
you play two different characters,
or like a personification of the closed-minded thinking of a lot of the ways that Mormons interact with ex-Mormons online, and all I have to do for an idea is spend like 1 second on like LDS Reddit or something to get an idea of the way that they think. Like I have a video about what about the smart ones? What about like the really educated Mormons who say like they're educated, they must know all of the anti-Mormon things. Like why, if there's, and I used to do that. Like I literally I looked up to 2 people I can still think of that were such pillars of my testimony when they really shouldn't have been, but 2 really like people that I really respected in Mormonism. And I'd never looked at like the anti-Mormon literature, or whatever you want to call it, just the truth, let's say. And because I was like, they've probably already looked at it and they stay in the church and look how strong they are. And I kind of I wanted to break down that pillar. If that's a pillar for anyone else's testimony that somebody else has figured it out because they're smarter than you, no, because you have Talmud who should have been smart enough, but the second that he's presented with evidence that literally there's no horses on this continent, he still is like, but my scripture says it is, so I'm going to supersede science and reasoning with what I already believe because that makes me feel comfortable. So there's so many things that I can't even describe how many ideas and tropes that I just want to knock down. If this is Mormons, if this is some last thing that you're holding on to, I want to be able to like personify it and do like a dialogue about it. So yeah, I'm just getting started, really, is the point I'm making.
How many videos do you have?
Not a whole lot, maybe like, if I have like 100 videos, I would say like 70% of that, 70 videos are maybe like ex-Mormon or Mormon related. So I do like little things about my life sometimes, but yeah.
70.
Yeah,
and you've been doing it how long?
I started making them maybe around Thanksgiving.
So it's just been a few months.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a few months.
It's not though. Because if you listen to anyone on TikTok, they're like, you need to be putting out 3 videos a day. And I'm like, I cannot be asked to do that. So I'm actually probably going to scale it back even more because I just need to spend more time cleaning my house, taking care of my kids. So I'm probably going to do one every like 3 days until my house gets clean. Then I'll let it fall into disarray again, as it has been for the last month, and then start over again. So
there's also this concept of stitching. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. And the other great thing about TikTok is not only can you put up a video of yourself talking. If somebody likes your idea or doesn't like your idea, they can take the first 5 seconds of it, or they could even screen record and edit themselves talking. And you can do really great responses talking back and forth kind of with people and just snowball their ideas. Or you can do duets with them where you're side by side and you want to add something to what they have to say. I can't think of another platform that's done anything really like that. That makes it so easy for so many people. And I watch a lot of videos about how people think that Instagram is a dying platform because it's like shiny, pretty. It's people's like best selves on display on Instagram. And then TikTok is the opposite of that. It's people just filming themselves in their bed when they just thought of an epiphany when they're smoking weed at like 4 a.m. and people put it up and you can go viral immediately because of the way the algorithm works is that it sends out your video to a handful of people. And then TikTok judges how those people, the watch time, the interaction, like likes, follows, shares, comments, how your video did to that group of people. And then if they responded well, then it branches out and sends it out to quadruple the amount of people or whatever. And so ex-Mormons have a lot to say. Ex-Mormons have a lot of need for community when they just left such a high demand religion like Mormonism. So people just gravitate and people just become good friends and close allies and are learning from each other. And we're all like, I feel like I'm in a very final stage of my ex-Mormonism. Like I'm totally fine. I could never talk about it. No, I'm going to take that back. I will always talk about it because I think Mormon history is fascinating. But there are some people who are just, deconstructing the lies that they were told growing up and still trying to decide what they want to do. Like Faith Unraveled is a good one about that. And she is just kind of like taking you on her journey with her of like things that have been hidden from me. And this is how I'm talking with the people still in my ward. And she has a great channel for that. Her name's Elise. And then I think
Shout out to Elise.
Yeah. And then there's other people who like me, like Devil Trout is one that I really like. And she is so like far removed being an atheist, being an ex-Mormon that like she, there's just people like that like we're over here on this road where we look back at Mormonism like with a 10-foot pole, like it's so far behind us, but we're both talking about the same church and we both have things to say about it, but it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect us when people, don't like our stuff or anything like that. Cause I'm in a good place now. So, the reach is really, really incredible.
So what of your videos, what's the most number of views you've had on one of your videos?
Oh, mine are actually, in terms of
number one.
Oh, number one, an ex-Mormon one though. Cause my top one is just a dumb thing that I said to my sister. That was like over 500,000 views.
Okay. Let me just be clear about the scale here. So Mormon Stories podcast has had a YouTube channel for many, many years. Some of my videos have been up 10 years, I'm going to say. And the most videos I've ever received, views I've ever received on YouTube is maybe 100,000. Mm-hmm. And that's with some videos been up 10 years, really early on. Most of my episodes, if I get 20,000 views on YouTube for maybe 80,000, like Benji Schwimmer or, Amber Score or Tara Westover. I did, and her book was like, she was on Oprah. Mm-hmm. She was interviewed with Barack Obama. Like, you don't get bigger than Tara Westover. And that's some of that search engine SEO stuff is going to bring views to your videos. But even someone like a Tara Westover, I'll be lucky if I get 80,000 views. Mm-hmm. You're getting, how many did you say?
500,000, but it's not hard to get 500,000 on something that's like 12 seconds long sometimes. So I want to preface it that way.
That's part of the that's part of the benefit of the platform.
Yeah, like Ex-Mormon Mindy's videos are always in like the hundreds of thousands.
Shout out to Ex-Mormon.
Yeah, so just anyone talking about just the messiness of Mormonism and leaving. And I know that Mormons have like a really good PR council where they have one image of what the Mormon church looks like and projects itself as really happy families, a lot of things. There's a lot of underlying issues that people have to work through, and that is really prevalent on a platform like TikTok. So I can't even tell you how many ex-Mormon TikTokers there are now. There's so many people just kind of telling they're talking, they're ticking, TikTokers. So I invented that. Thanks.
One thing I don't understand is with how much money and influence and power the church has, why the ex-Mormon community always leads in dominating, pick your social media platform. Yeah. We always, whether it's Reddit, the ex-Mormon Reddit blows away any Orthodox or believing Mormon Reddit. Mm-hmm. We ex-Mormon or progressive Mormon podcasters just have always led and continue to dominate the Mormon podcasting arena, and the church is just trying to become relevant there. Same with YouTube, and now same with TikTok. Like you would think with all the money and power the church had, whenever there was a new social media, I'm probably giving them ideas, which I do all the time, but it's okay. You would think that with all the power and money they have, they could identify the big up-and-coming platforms and dominate them early so that we don't dominate them. But we do. We always end up dominating them.
I know that line of thinking of like, they should be on this. They should be shutting us down. Where's the, what's the council called?
The Gay Knights? The council?
No, the
Council of 50?
No. I mean the
Strengthening the Members Committee.
That's it. Strengthening the Members Committee. Like, where are they stalking us? But I know it's easy to think that. But we're talking about the church that was so incompetent that approves speeches in the same conference, having its apostles contradict each other. Like, they don't even see things that are that fucking obvious. And the doublespeak that they play, like the way, like one of my major shelf items was the way that they spent the last, I don't know how many years propping up the word Mormon for the I'm a Mormon campaign and all of the things. And then the next mouthpiece of God saying that that's a win for Satan. Like how that got past so many different thresholds of approval that they were able, like, that was such a fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, they fuck up so wildly. The reversal of the children's, of LGBT parents thing, like colossal things that had to cause an avalanche, right? Of people waking up and paying more attention to this religion. If they're like, I honestly don't, anything, what's that saying? Like, don't blame things on a conspiracy that are just incompetence. That's how I see it right now, where I'm like, and I need to make a video about this. Like, somebody said to me a couple of years ago, like, the LGBT issue is going to be the defining issue of like Gen Z and of these people like moving forward for the next how many years, right? And the church is going to have to do something. It's going to have to change. So Mormons, like, I know that you don't believe these really, like, you have gay friends. I know that you're better than this. You're going to have to start questioning now or later. And I'm glad I felt like as soon as somebody said that to me, I was like, all right, I'm going to start questioning now. I'm going to actually start diving into the religion now because there's too many major fuck ups. And I don't want to be, in my 40s, 50s, 60s before I realize that the church isn't true and spend all of my life giving my tithing and my time and teaching my kids this. So I really hope that TikTok and all of these different social media platforms are the exact right evil concoction. No, the exact witch's brew of exactly what the church is going to falter over. Like there's too many voices, too many people speaking up, too many ex-members of missionary, like going apeshit once they find out the church isn't true and the lies, because we're mad. We're really mad. We were sold a lie and we have so much to say,